showtime. Come on.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Welcome back. I'm waiting.
So now you know.
Can't stop in the house.
So now you know. Come on, do it. Show me the power, child. I like to say that I'm down on my knees again. Gives me the butterflies, gives me away. That I'm down on my knees again. I can't sing that part. No way. All right, that's.
I just love that I know what it looks like when you poop now.
All right, guys. So
Justin's like, I haven't had anything fibrous in like 2 weeks. I'm gonna go on the toilet. I'm gonna sing some Soundgarden, and I'm gonna get this job done.
All right,
I'm on the porcelain again.
Hey, you try to sing that song with a
No, that's a
face,
wicked hard
right?
song. Hey, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm not singing it.
So, what's going on, guys? Now that we blew out your eardrums, I'm sure
Hey,
you
guy.
appreciate it.
Hey, guy.
Yeah, that's right. Let's start out with a copyright strike, right?
Yeah, Justin likes to do that lately, like big.
Yeah,
time.
it's kind of fun. Like it's really cool. YouTube has a really cool system called Content ID, and they just totally match that we're performing those songs. And any of the proceeds from any of the commercials that you see from our video, just simply go to them. I think it's like a really cool deal, you know?
Yeah.
So if it's for the game of fun, why not? So looking in the chat, I think there was a couple of subjects that people kind of wanted to talk about.
I feel like I just messed something up. Oh. I think I just made stuff, but I think I just messed something up.
What'd you do, Ralph?
You sound like Darth Vader all of a sudden, and I'm echoing.
I sound like Darth Vader.
But you didn't do that, did you?
Wait. I sound weird to you?
Yeah, but I think it's my fault. Hold on. I'll fix it.
All right,
Did it go
guys.
away?
So I hear you normal
Oh,
this
that's
whole
weird.
time. What
Oh,
do
that's
I
weird.
sound like this or something?
No, it gave you this really weird. You had this like really weird effect on your voice, but it was. Never mind. I tried to do something stupid. It was stupid. Never mind. Just don't even bother. I'm not even gonna talk about it. It was dumb. Did something dumb. Did dumb things. I
Yeah,
wanted to show something on the desk cam really bad, but when I put the desk cam on, I know, but I put the desk cam on and you started echoing and I started sounding weird, so I don't know what happened.
Something's wrong with the desk cam.
Everyone else said it sounds fine though, so maybe I could still do it. It just will bother me. It was like echoing and stuff all over the place in my headset, but maybe we could do it anyway. I wanted to show something because I got this really.
Can you show it like hold it up like?
Well,
this?
I could. So yeah, I could. I don't know. I know it's kind of random, but I got this thing the other day. Someone that watches the show was like, not this show, but the other show, the Retro Ralph show, whatever. They're both shows. But was watching the other show, and they're like, "Hey, you gotta. I see you love virtual pinball. You gotta get this thing for your Nintendo Switch." And it's gonna look like nothing. I'm gonna show you this, and you're gonna be like, "Cool, Ralph. It's a piece of plastic," but it's this. And you're probably like, yeah, that looks stupid. But if you give me a second, I'll assemble it, and you'll be like, that's really cool. Like all of a sudden, you're gonna think it's cool. Because this looks dumb to you right now, doesn't it? This looks stupid.
Once you figure it out, I'm going to talk to the chat. So
it takes a second.
So check this out. Someone mentioned he sold his At Games Legends Ultimate for $600 today.
Holy
That's
crap.
really interesting. That's a really good deal. That's a really, that you're able to sell it for that. I might be in the same boat. I'll show you why. While Ralph is doing that, I think I talked about this on an earlier stream, but I'm working with a local arcade dealer. He owns about 400 arcades, and he owns, arcade machines. And I think it's like 3 physical arcades. It works with other dealers. They do buy and trades. Oh, it's like a vertical thingy-majig.
Yeah, make sure.
Now you can play games vertical. 9x16, huh?
Look. Is that not cool as hell?
Yeah, that's
wait
cool.
Wait till I get it going. Hold on.
All right.
Oh, I already messed something up.
I'll show off the pictures. Ralph and I were looking at it today. So this is a shot of the Play Choice 10 that I'll be picking up. And Ralph and I were like, so the guy's gonna. This is what he got, and then he's gonna do refurbishing on it and whatnot. But Ralph and I were like, wait a second. Have you guys seen this where the Play Choice 10 is blue on the front and the speaker is down below? And I personally hadn't seen it, The ones that I've seen, I thought there was like basically 2 or 3 variants of the Play Choice 10 where it's like black and it has 1 screen or 2 screens. But I haven't seen this variant. And then we looked it up, and sure enough, this is like a variation of the Play Choice 10 that is blue, like kind of like the Donkey Kong cabinet, and it has the speaker grill down below, kind of like Mario versus Popeye Donkey Kong. No clue. I was like, yes, I want that one, because I don't know. Like, to me, one thing I never really liked about the Play Choice 10 is that it was black, and I love the idea of it. I love the hardware in it.
Mine's black, by the way.
Yeah, I like that it's basically an NES with RGB. So they have a different processing unit that allows you to output to a CRT and
are you
really
referring
good quality.
Are you referring to the PPU, Justin?
Yeah, the PPU.
I listened to you talk. So is it the PPU by chance?
Is that right, Brian? He says his Play Choice is the same. So I'm really excited about it. He says it's going to come with 5 games, which I'm excited about buying other ones, and maybe Ralph and I can do some trading because he's got one as well.
I have a bunch of games I think you want. Like, I don't want Excite Bike, and you probably do.
I'd like that one. Yeah, for sure. So I'm also picking up a Neo Geo MVS at the same time. That one I'll have to do a little bit of work on. He's doing all the hard, like the wood for me, like making sure cosmetically the Neo Geo is in good shape. Because I don't know how to do wood. Wood is not my thing. Whatever that thing is, I don't know how to do. But on the inside, I'm going to start with an MVS. I think I got the C. It's like the 1 slot. Dude, that's cool.
I know, because look, I mean, I'm not going to be able to do it good on here, but my lights are in the way, but hold on. See your flipper buttons?
Yeah.
And then hold on.
So, it's nice. We can get a copyright claim for the Soundgarden song, but they can't take this away. Hey, guys. So Ralph is talking about this really cool Switch apparel that you can get. Link down in the description. Click on that and pick one up. One Up Weekly.
And by the way, if you guys are bored after this, watch RGT85.
RGT sponsored the show. He's like, I need more views. I need more subscribers.
Yeah, I think he's good. I think he's good. I think
he's doing all right.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, there was some sarcasm in the last couple sentences we've been saying.
Is that not so cool?
Is that BTTF?
Yeah, that's Back to the Future. So it's cool. So I'm running FX3, and it does the little table overview, and then you got so you can set it up so your flippers are right here, and your nudge buttons are the on top. This is like really cool. And then it comes with this thing. It's like a little kickstand for this, so you can I don't know why I guess you could prop it up on a table if you wanted to use like a Pro controller. I guess.
Sure.
Or no, I guess if you wanted to hold the Joy-Cons,
you can use the Joy-Cons. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Does that work?
Comes with this little thing. Yeah, it works awesome.
Yeah, on the back, it'll hold up the.
It has this little thing. It gives you this card. It doesn't actually have an embedded kickstand, but dude, want to know why you'd think this is so cool? The guy that engineered this, he took the surface thermometers where you can beam a laser on it to see how hot it is. Well, he beamed a laser on the back of a Switch that didn't have anything on it. So just a regular Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
And then he shows you how he's engineered the case to actually improve the airflow coming out of the vents
Oh,
right here.
really?
So it actually runs cooler in his case than it does without the case.
You know what
That's
that
pretty
is?
cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's some freaking badass engineering. The guy, it's
Yeah.
cool. It's just called Flip Grip. It came in this shady ass box. It looked like I got a bomb, and it wasn't. Oh, we'll probably get a strike for saying bomb.
Be
but,
careful, dude.
Yeah, but it just
Don't
it was
say
in a
the
weird.
word on YouTube. Anyway, let's get to the chat. So Brian King, he's saying about the Nintendo Link adapter. Yeah, I think I'm going to pick one up. It's kind of the same with the Neo Geo MVS. I picked up the 161 in 1 multi-cart for the Neo Geo. It's not like my solution necessarily, but I'm new to Neo Geo, and that's where everyone has their own, what's gray area, what's their line for piracy, and that particular one, I want to collect some carts, but I'm probably going to get an MVS4, talking about the Neo Geo, and I want to play some different games, so I picked up the 161 in 1, then I'm going to go through some of the catalogs, kind of like a preview before I pick them up. Some of them are expensive, and some of them are a little cheaper.
Yeah. So one thing that I found is what I was doing when conventions were still around. For some reason, a lot of these gaming conventions, they don't really focus on AAS and MVS stuff, but every now and then you'll go to a vendor and you'll find a couple. So I know this is stupid, but I would go to the shows and I knew the couple of the vendors that would sell MVS stuff. So I'd go early enough that I was there right away, and I'd just say, I'll buy all your MVS stuff. And they do it because they weren't selling some stuff I couldn't afford because I wouldn't buy it, but like, they don't go to those shows for that. They go for like loose carts and complete in boxes and stuff. And there was a couple vendors that would always have MVS carts, so I'd buy the MVS carts. There was a super chat I think we missed, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it was Edwin, but I don't think he said anything. But we should at least flash it on the screen. He didn't say anything. He just
we got to catch up. Let's catch up with the chat. So How to Bachelor says, Ralph, feel free to upgrade. Great jamming, Justin.
Yeah, How to Bachelor. I know we had, so him and I were gonna do this thing tomorrow, and I can't make it happen, but we're gonna do it again soon. So we're gonna try to do it. We're gonna try to stream together. So we're gonna try to do that.
So Astro City, more titles announced. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there was actually a whole series of titles. I'll see if I can pull it up, but there was like a couple that I thought were cool, but I couldn't have thought they were that cool because I don't remember them now.
Yeah. I just saw that it was like, was it 9? 9 times.
9 times. Well, there was a super chat from Stringer. I don't know if you showed that. And then, so Super Dimensional said it looks like a Donkey Kong conversion. That's exactly what I said until I looked it up. There actually was a string of one monitor or single screen machines that had that same. So Nintendo must have just reused the Donkey Kong cabinet, right? Because my cabinet is different. So there's like two variants of there's at least two that I know of variants of the stand-up single screen Play Choice 10. And then there's even a couple of variants of, which is weird because like mine, the speakers are they're like underneath the marquee, and in the one Justin's gonna get, it's like right where it would be in Donkey Kong. It's like almost the same. It is the same actually. It's the same cabinet style.
That's right. So earlier we were talking about the resale value of the Act games, and GameBit was talking about 900. I think that's the same topic, right? So someone asked how much is the machine at retail. So it goes for about $600, and so getting $600 in resale is I thought that was pretty good because sometimes when you buy something at retail, it's hard to get your money back, on the aftermarket type of thing. So I brought that up because I'm in the same boat where I'm looking to get rid of some of the cabinets that I own to make room for the full size cabinets that I plan on picking up, but I still plan on keeping a couple arcade one-ups, mainly the limited edition Marvel that I have, and the Star Wars cabinet. Those are like for sure. I'm going to keep those. Many of the other ones are probably going to go, just because I have other ideas for the spaces that I have. In my basement, I kind of have 2 rooms. There's like a living room, it's like a theater room, and then this room, and they're kind of filled all with arcades right now. And so my wife's kind of like, She's being very practical about it. She's like, wouldn't you rather use that main living room for other things? And she's not saying to get rid of them. She's just saying maybe we could use other things in there.
Downsizing?
Yeah.
Hey, so there's some late breaking news that I wanted to talk about really quick. Man, it's a big deal. So I just want to make sure that you're all prepared. So, I went over to GameStop and I didn't realize this. This was something new.
Right now.
This did not pop up later, but I guess it's 20% off all the shirts. And then GameStop's actually in here, and there was a message that GameStop sent where they were being sued, but they said as long as they just say for educational purposes only, all the legal ramifications would be dropped. So that's kind of interesting. But there's a couple other things. Like, for one, they've confirmed for sure that the Neo Geo MVSX is real. So it's
so good.
Obviously, we did that, but it wasn't really real until
just
GameStop.
So everyone knows, this website is now the source of truth for all home arcade.
Oh, everything. Yeah, if you don't go here,
this thing's being updated every day. Like
a lot more than you'd think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this too, they confirmed. Like we said it, but it wasn't really real until they said it.
That's right.
So it's kind of
pretty soon. I think they're going to start saying it before we say it, and then we're just going to do episodes where we review thegamestop.com for all your latest news. If you want to hear it in podcast form, come to One Up Weekly. Please subscribe.
Yeah, so there's a couple of updates. One is the One Up Sega Virtua Fighter. It says One Up's very own John Soon D confirms photo is fake. So if you guys know, John's been using that soon. Soon is for everything. So that's pretty interesting. And then, okay. Stringer Films said 20% off because they're all stained. I'm gonna let you guys read into that however you wish. Mm-hmm. The giant joystick is still coming, which is cool. We've got GameStop's into a little bit of legal trouble for this because, that I'm pretty sure, she came in by herself. Supposedly she was driving in like some kind of some kind of car with some phone books. Like she somehow stole the keys. But anyways, that's
it's kind of like that Little Rascal episode, where the kids are driving. Yeah. I get it. Yeah,
something's going on there. But we want to talk about this. Oh wait, hold on. There's 20% off, but then this says 25% off. So I don't know. Maybe
let me explain. It's
do you
20%
get
45%
off?
No. It's only 25% of the exclusive merch when you use the code GameStop.
Okay, good. Okay, I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah,
so
you got to read the whole thing. So the best thing they have is the Sinden. Oh wait, is it Sinden or Sinden? Sinden light gun.
Sinden. It's Sinden. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got. I don't know. Honestly, breaking character just for a second. After I've been seeing all of this, I almost bought that T-shirt. Like the Sinden light gun T-shirt.
I'm thinking I'm buying some of these. I want to buy the for educational purposes only want to wear it during a show because it's
kind of weird because it has your face on it.
I know, but I think it's awesome. I mean, maybe I can put a piece of tape over my face, but I don't know, whatever. I didn't know there was, this one's new. I haven't seen it last time. The Come One, Come All. That's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of the polo.
Stringer Film says the 25% off shirts are the ones that are stained by Zohar.
Are you guys still trying to figure out who GameStop is?
Oh, so to be... I was thinking about updating my site, and I was gonna link the David Deming's product. What is it called? The Double D, and be like, make sure, if you come to the site, you're looking for a deal. Maybe you're looking to mod. Maybe you need to do a leftover project, and then maybe we gotta have some exclusive GameStop banners at the top.
The fans have spoken. Our fans rate our quality #1. Thank you. All right. Well, there was one thing on here that I was actually surprised is they actually interviewed. Now, Justin won't understand this, but all you guys will. They interviewed the founder and CEO of GameStop, which I thought was interesting here in the interview. And, you guys can see him right there. His name is Jin Yang. So I thought Jin Yang did a great job. He also, if you guys don't know this, he also created that app called Seafood, where it can tell you can take a picture of a hot dog and it'll tell you if it's a hot dog, and then if you take a picture of something that's not a hot dog, it'll tell you that it's not a hot dog. It's a pretty like mind-blowing AI type application. So yeah, so this is there's the the giant joystick is on there. There's a bunch of stuff. So I'm excited. I can't believe how frequently updated the GameStop website is,
It's good.
to be honest.
So I have a question for Stringer Films. Stringer, is it time? I think it's time. I think we jumped to it, buddy. What do you say?
Do you have something new that I don't know about?
Maybe. Give me a 1, Stringer, if it's cool. You tell me. Give me a 0. We need to wait till a little bit later. All right, so yeah, I think this is something Ralph doesn't even know about. All right, so
Am I ready?
Okay, he says it's time. Are you guys ready for this?
I don't know what it is, so I don't.
Y'all
I
ready
didn't
for
know.
This?
This is probably the reason. I'm sure. So, by the way, this is probably the reason why Justin was like, "If you don't do a stream tonight, I'll stop being your friend." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Wow." I'm like, "All right, I guess." Well, Kim, I mean, Justin straight up said he's gonna stop being my friend if we don't do it. So I guess I have
that never happened.
I don't know.
You ready?
I, as a kid, thought I was so good. And I think I was like, sometimes you can't remember exactly.
Him and his sister, and they were young at the time, right? They were kids. They did something wrong.
A fun experience for me. You know what I mean?
Tell me what goes through your mind. How do you feel about what you've done to your sister?
Snuck into my sister's room. I was doing something really bad. He had the Madonna sex book, which probably came out around this time, and I got really excited. I remember flipping to this one page, and it had like her with no top on with Vanilla Ice.
Is that gratifying to you?
You know what? I love doing it, and I had a great time. And I remember like going out of a room really quick, like, I can't believe I saw that.
This for you has been an irresistible impulse.
This really kind of rocked my world. But the one thing it did make me realize is that it's not healthy to keep something pent up inside. I took a path that, I actually regret now.
What do you think about what he's saying?
Ralph is having issues.
I did it, right? So I got to own up that I did that.
And no one looked underneath the bed.
That's a whole other story.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I had to mute myself for a while.
Well, I didn't see that one coming.
Okay.
What the heck?
So Stringer sent me that, but I didn't want it.
Oh, wow.
All right, keep it together, guys. Keep it together.
Thank you, Stringer, I think. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I guess you could have made it even worse. I mean, this is pretty good editing right there.
It's
oh my gosh, Edwin, thank you for the super chat. LOL. I agree. That was pretty funny. Could they hear us well? Did you have it set up that you played the clip so they could hear us while it was playing, right? Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Will that be on DVD or VHS at GameStop or?
Yeah, pretty soon. The video will be on GameStop in no time.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Wow. Wait, is that a GameStop ad? Okay, let's see. How to Bachelor says best thing ever. Dragon Gamer says comedy gold. Ian says I'm crying so bad. That was amazing. That's some dark comedy.
That was.
Oh wow! So Stringer said my girlfriend made me tone it down. So I wonder how bad it was.
I wonder what the other version looked like.
Holy crap! All right. I guess it's going to be available on Betamax. I didn't realize that. So we are retro, so Betamax would make sense. But we want to make sure Betamax wasn't the one that won, so we'll do VHS too. Blu-ray 3D. Oh, is there going to be actually? Let's ask. Is there going to be a part 2? Or
I think he said episode 2. So he.
There will.
Was he making series or something? Okay.
Jonathan just came stopped, which is awesome. Reset Rudy is like, I don't have anything to say, really. He's like, I don't know. Arcade Eric says, howdy, Justin. Well,
Hey,
howdy to you, too.
Hey, wait a second. Stringer, do you have the director's cut version? Could you send me that one?
Oh, no.
How
is it
bad
safe
is
to
it?
play?
Is it safe to play or?
Will the 3D come with glasses? All right, so let's see.
Yeah, I think some people are asking for Type 1 if you want the full version, the director's cut.
All right. Steve has an interesting question. While you're trying to, he doesn't have it.
No, I think he's saying it's too bad. Like it's X-rated
really?
or something.
Sorry, I'm gassy again tonight. All right. So Steve says, why doesn't 1UP create a cabinet that allows you to put your game systems inside and play it like an arcade instead of the lame standard way? I don't know, man. Like a kiosk kind of, right? Like taking the kiosk concept and making an arcade cabinet out of it. I don't know. That'd be a little too advanced, I think, for what they're set up to do right now. And it kind of doesn't go. I mean, is it cool? And would it? Yes. That would be really neat. You could build your own like that. You know, obviously there's like ways to do that, but I don't see them doing that anytime soon. I think that would be way down the road if they ever get to that. But that concept is cool for a lot of people.
I was thinking about it. It's not a perfect analogy, but I think it's something that we can relate to. So, do you remember when Netflix first came out as a streaming service? Not now, but kind of 10 years ago. I was in the cable industry, during that time, had not yet moved over to streaming, working for streaming services. So I had my eye on it a lot because I was working for Dish at the time, knowing that, is the waters going to be okay in the industry that I'm in? And there was this interesting thing that Netflix says they're going to try to become HBO before HBO becomes Netflix. So it's this idea that they knew, companies like HBO, companies like Netflix knew that in the over-the-top streaming services, there's going to be this thing where the content developer or the content creators are going to try to make streaming services, and Netflix was going to try to become a content creator. Okay, why am I bringing this up? The reason is originally Netflix was a type of company that didn't make their own content. So what they did was they bought licensed to content from other people, packaged it up, and sold it to you. That's kind of like Arcade 1UP's model. Their company that buys these licenses, packages it up, and sells it to you, right? What's interesting is the Neo Geo, the SNK, is kind of more like a Disney Plus in the sense that Disney owns all that content. And now they actually did buy a company called BAMTech, by the way. It's in the company's history. It was a industry leader. They used to build
I have no idea
of,
where you're going with this.
The point is they did use a different company, and now it's Disney owned property, and now they sell the content direct, and they sell that content for only $6.99 a month. And so the Neo Geo cabinet, the SNK, is kind of a little bit like the content owner making their own cabinet. Now, of course, they're working with manufacturers and stuff, and but they own those licenses. It's almost like, wait a second. They own those licenses and they're selling a cabinet for $500 that has 50 games in it.
Wait a minute. Dude, your wicked long drawn out story just made me think of something amazing. I now know why Windjammers isn't on it. Because it's not an SNK game. It's a Data East game.
Oh.
Thank you so much for taking 100 years to tell a story. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, Justin. I know you're upset with me now. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I think what's interesting is if you look at that industry, and maybe there's no parallels to it, but Netflix now has their own content. They now make their own content, hire actors, have a studio, whatever, and they also sell direct. They also license. So HBO caused Netflix to change. Disney's out now. And that caused a lot of things. There's a new Peacock service out. It's basically Universal NBC. Okay, so what's the point? Arcade 1UP will probably change. That's what I'm thinking.
Who would name their streaming service Peacock?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm still wondering
why. Hey, Billy, Joey, and Joanne. Let's sit on the couch and watch Peacock. That's weird. That's a weird name.
Now...
Although it does make sense because the logo is a peacock, but like
Yeah.
it doesn't. You got
that
Netflix,
brand of
got
NBC
Hulu.
Universal is not like you see the peacock, but you don't say peacock.
But I kind of feel like that'd be a bunch of old guys, and they're like, yeah, here we got to get into this streaming thing. Don't you think there, Billy Bob? I mean, all those young whippersnappers are streaming. We should stream too. And they're like, I don't know, let's call Joe. He's on his deathbed, but he's still like part of the board of directors here at NBC. Let's ask him. And he's like, we got a cool logo that's got the peacock. Why don't we just, could we just maybe call it a peacock?
Retro Stasis gets it. He goes, I want the arcade one of Netflix.
I was just messing with Justin. He does take a long time to tell stories sometimes, but I still love him.
I will now stop, but I will say one thing about Peacock. Right now, all of us are hating on Peacock, and I don't, well, I have to. It's my job to hate Peacock, right? But but anyway, they are doing something really cool that I will subscribe to Peacock next year. That I think is really cool. Hit 1 if you like The Office. Is The Office something that you really like? And I will say something that they are doing that's actually drawing my attention. I think it's the only way that Peacock is actually going to get subscribers is by them doing this. Peacock is owned by Universal, which owns The Office. Netflix currently carries The Office. That license will end soon. When that license ends, Peacock will offer it. But they're going to do something different. They're going to remaster The Office and put all the deleted scenes in it. You'll be able to watch The Office with all the deleted scenes.
Okay,
like
that's
in this
cool.
huge, gigantic new experience.
Okay, fine. As a stupid name, but you sold me on that.
Yeah.
You sold me on that. That's cool because I love The Office.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
By the way, I was totally listening to you just a second ago, but I have that. The Xbox. You probably don't have this. Do you have the thing where it's like Game Center on Microsoft? It'll pop up. Well, something must be wrong because he's using my account or something got screwed up because it's like Big Daddy 6543 kick ass just wants to join and play Fortnite, and it kept scrolling all these people's names. And I couldn't shut it off. It's like, do you guys know what I'm talking about? If you're on your PC, the Game Center, Justin's giving me like,
oh, it's like notifications.
I don't know what you're talking about, Ralph, but you're acting super adolescent right now, and I was having a serious conversation. He totally was giving me the look.
That wasn't what I was doing.
You were giving me the look. Okay, you're like,
no, I was
whatever.
thinking to myself, I was like, wait a second. Are you just talking about how Windows has a notification system?
No. It's actually this thing called Game Center. So it's built into Windows.
But it's wired into the system window notification system, which queues up all of their notifications. So if you have it turned off, it'll just queue that up. And all of a sudden you turn it on and you'll be like, bam, 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 notification.
No, it's not that. It's live. Like as he's joining games on Fortnite, it's like, they have these. It's like AZ Big Boy 55 just joined AZ Big Boy 61. And I'm like, I told Tanner the other day, I'm like, dude, you guys and your buddies, you need to change your name. AZ Big Boy. I'm like, I'm not going to get into why that's weird. I go, but it's just kind of weird. Like change it to something else.
You're going on and on. Meanwhile, people want to talk about their favorite Office episode. Sexual
and
harassment.
Also, we're wicked backed up. You totally skipped over Epicenter Gaming's question, and I want to get to his question, so it's on the screen.
Okay.
After waiting since April 1st.
We'll answer these questions, but we have a timer. It's like 30 seconds. Boom. Go.
Okay. After waiting since April 1st for my head-to-head Pac-Man, I get an email this week saying the order was canceled and refunded.
What?
Said I requested it. What a joke. That sucks. I don't know why that would happen, but that does suck.
That
sucks. That's through Arcade 1-Up directly then.
Yeah.
But waiting since April 1st. No, but the head-to-head, like the old head-to-head, the black one, the Black Series one. Oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah.
I wish John D was here because we'd give him some crap. Bam! All right. Well, I don't know why that happened, but that does suck. I'm sorry to hear that. All right. So sorry. Now everyone's talking about Office, and I guess. So you need to change the channel to AZ Big Boy. I'm dead serious. That's his name. It's like AZ Big Boy 22. And they're all like, all his friends that play Fortnite, it's like 22, 23, 24, 25. I'm like, dude, that sounds weird. AZ Big, like, I don't know. It just sounds weird to me.
All right,
Easy big boy.
Just stop, Ralph. So, dinner party. That's a good episode. Dinner party, yeah. Dwight crashes in the end. Best part. Yeah, best part of The Office, right there. Right when he in dinner party, he's like, "I finally did it. I finally broke down and bought a plasma television. I could just stand here all day. Oh, look, if you want, need a little room, push it back. So good. Sorry. That was my office moment. If you guys haven't seen the behind the scenes, it took them like a million takes to get that scene because they were just laughing so hard they couldn't do it. I remember The Office was one of my favorite shows. My wife was like pregnant during that time, and so we were watching a lot of television, and I think it was that scene we paused and we just were laughing for like 10 minutes straight. Like we could not hit play again.
Which scene?
The scene where Michael has a tiny television.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you were talking about. I didn't know you were talking about the same thing. Sorry, 'cause
Right.
also,
Yeah. And then Jan throws the Dundee at it. He's like, that's a plasma television. That. Anyway. Good luck paying me back on your $0 a year salary. Okay,
my
Ralph,
family
what's
says he thinks Pam is hot. I agree. I did want to talk about
snip,
this.
Snap, snip, snap. I'm
I
sorry.
feel like
this
I
episode
feel like
just turned into The Office, all right?
I know, but I have nothing to add because it's been
Okay, hold
so
on.
long. Like
Ralph
since
has
I
not
watched
seen
it.
IT Crowd. Everyone shame Ralph right now.
Can we talk about shows that Justin doesn't watch? Like, can we just have a whole show on Silicon
ahead.
Valley so he'll stand there like,
Sure.
and he'll be. I actually watched The Office, but I don't remember all of them that well. Like,
Yeah,
I
did
just
you watch IT Crowd?
I didn't watch it.
Did you try turning it off and on again?
Try turning what off and on again. It's part of the
He
show.
doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Yeah, let's talk about shows that Ralph doesn't know.
Yeah, but it's IT Crowd. You're like
I don't
legally
know.
required to watch it.
You
You're
hadn't
in
seen
IT.
you hadn't seen *Halt and Catch Fire*. I think that's even better. I don't even know this show, and I bet that show is better than IT Crowd.
Oh, nothing. There's very few shows better than IT Crowd.
Well, it depends. Is it all comedy or is it like
Yeah, it's full on.
okay? *Halt and Catch Fire* is more like serious with it's more like of a serious drama-ish comedy, but it has some comedy, but not much. So hey, I wanted to shift gears on something really quick.
Go ahead.
I'm like not a big fan of this. What did you let me close this ad. I mean, I guess for me, here's the thing. I just don't get it because I'm not into this brand. So but even if I was into this brand, I don't know why I would want to spend like a million times more for the same cabinet with just different artwork.
Yeah.
Like it just seems like it just seems like a waste of money. Like I get that brands can have recognition to the point where people will pay crazy amounts of money, but it's the same cabinet it's the same cabinet. Do you know what I mean? Like I was hearing there were things that were saying it was like 12. I know it cannot be true. There's no way that's $12,000. There's no way. That has to be fake.
All
Right?
right, let's talk about it.
That can't be real, Justin. Like there's no possible way.
Who here believes it's real that it's actually $12,000? Hit one if you believe it's real. I'm in denial as well. Like it.
I can't. If everyone thinks it is 12,000 and that's true, if it really is, like that's freaking insane. I don't even know what to say. Like that's crazy. And I have strong opinions about the rest the rest of this. I'd like to talk about.
Zohar's like, yeah, it's $12,000, dude. You
But
got
I
some
don't.
people
Does
say-
anybody know? Does anybody in our
Chef
chat
Dave's
familiar
got
enough
it.
with the brand? Yeah, but that's what I would think too.
If it's 1,200, like it can't.
That makes way more sense.
12,000, right?
1,200 is still stupid, but 1,200 would be like, okay, like you could kind of justify that if you're into crazy brands and you're just looking for the name or whatever. I mean, I can't. But
Lori's
someone
got
can.
it figured out.
0.0. Okay, let's assume. All right, let's even go with the fair amount. Let's say it's 1,200. Don't you guys still think it's insane at 1,200?
Okay.
It's the same. It's the
I like
same
this game.
cabinet.
Here's my thought. Serious. This is a serious thing. What if it was 500?
Well, for me, I don't care about the brand, so I still wouldn't care. I still wouldn't want it.
Okay. What if it was 500 and didn't say Supreme?
Well, then I wouldn't want it either because they made Raiden look like a dork ball with this Supreme smock
Okay,
thing
yeah.
or whatever he has on.
Let's say it doesn't say Supreme. It says Mortal Kombat 2.
You're basically taking everything off.
But it's
what
red.
if it looked? What if it looked like the
but
original
I'm serious.
one?
I'm trying to break it down and figure out why you hate it.
Okay, all right. Why I hate it is the price. Okay, here's my problem with it. If you were going to offer, all right, let's just say I was into super luxury like brands like this, right? I think people that have the money to invest in a luxury brand expect it to be like luxury, right? Now, I'm not dissing Arcade 1-Up, but it's not like the MK cabinet with a new skin is luxury. Like if you were going to do it, then it should have the best controls on it. It should have the best arcade sticks on it. Like I'm not really dissing Arcade 1-Up because I guess there are people that love this brand enough that they would pay the ridiculous amounts for it. But to me, if I was going to sell to this brand, I would make sure this thing is like nails. It would have to be like bulletproof. It would be some kind of premier cab I've never built before to make it worth a little bit more worth that price, right? Can you imagine someone paying $1,200 and being like, oh, hey, oh no, Margot, have you seen the Phillips head screwdriver? I need to build my $12,000 Arcade 1-Up.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Phillips? She's like, no, I haven't, honey. Sons of bitches. Hey, Jeeves, can you build this freaking Arcade 1-Up right here? I just paid $12,000 for this thing. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's $12,000 and you still have to assemble it.
You still have to build it. I hope that you don't have to build it. I hope a butler comes into your house for the day and he makes you food. Like the whole cast of the original Mortal Kombat movie should come in and do like theater acting and be like, finish him. And everyone's like, oh my gosh. And they like,
it's a whole experience. And then they leave you with an Arcade 1-Up cabinet.
No, it's a fine dining experience. I'll get over here. And he pulls out a tray of sushi. He's like, would you guys like sashimi or regular sushi? We've got hand cut rolls. And
I'd buy that, I guess.
it comes with a chef for the day. He's like, finish him. Finish the food.
So what's good about it is, it's funny. I was teasing Zohar. It was like, dude, we were at CES. This is all our fault. We looked at John D and we're like, you have to make a superior cabinet. It needs to be like a supreme version.
We said supreme a bunch. He's like, huh. I never thought of... He's not saying this out loud. He's just thinking to himself, hey, come here for a second. Come here, Scott, come here. Have you ever thought about partnering with that Supreme? Like these two guys over here, these two jabronis, and they were talking about like we should build a Supreme cabinet. And Scott's like, man, those guys will pay for anything. Yeah, we should totally partner with them. That's a really genius idea. And then he comes back, he's like, yeah, I think we might do that eventually. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm not dissing on. I just want to make sure it's clear. I'm not necessarily dissing on. I don't know the brand, but I'm definitely not one of those people that's gonna like be like, oh, it's a T-shirt and it has this label on it, therefore a normal price for a T-shirt is $20 or whatever. But this is like $100, right, for the same cotton T-shirt. It's like
Red Sea Gaming. Is that right? I thought John D was saying that this has.
I think it's the Costco bundle, right? Like.
No, it's supposed to have the 4x3 screen, the 960p. It's all.
So it has the Costco screen.
Yeah.
And it has but even still, dude, and it has light up buttons.
No.
He said light up buttons.
Yeah.
So those are going to be poorer quality buttons. So you're getting light up buttons that probably aren't very good. You're getting.
Is it true? It's not lean back and doesn't. Yeah, it's lean back, dude. Look, you can see it. I think it's got. It looks like
it's the same setup as like Turtles, like those waves of
Marvel
cabinets where the speakers, where the speakers are under, or Marvel.
Yeah.
But it's not worth $1,200. It's not worth $1,200, and it's for damn sure not worth $12,000. Like that has to be a typo. There's no way. Like that's freaking insane. If someone paid $12,000 for that, that's nuts. Like that's just nuts. I'm
gonna spend $12,000 for it and then put a Raspberry Pi in it.
You know, it would trigger people so hard. Well, actually, it probably. Imagine if that guy. Do you remember that guy that went and bought a 1-Up and then he I'm
going to say this exactly in the voice of Zohar. It has dual speakers. light up buttons, light up marquee, angle screened. That's it, and that's all. And it's not worth $12,000. Boom.
Someone said Red Sea Gaming said it better have some iiArcade speakers. Seriously, this thing should have like a $1,200, not $1,200, just have a 1,200 watt speaker system in there. There should be a sub in the riser. Like, yeah, it should be like, finish him, and it should be like, oh my gosh, guys, you hear that? Like, it should feel like you're in. It should be you use the iiArcade verbiage. It should be so immersive that you're basically in Mortal Kombat. Like, you're there. Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. I don't mean to bag, but I just want to have some fun with it.
Yeah,
it's
and so ours no Wi-Fi either, right?
No, it does not have Wi-Fi. There's no chance in hell that has Wi-Fi.
So
but
Double
they
D
did put.
I think we got it. We got a subject change here. I think it's good.
Oh, okay. All right. I like this.
Or MSX, right?
Ooh, if you only could choose one, is this like a you can only choose one kind of thing? Ooh, Double D. That's tart. So, Double D, can you clarify? Is this like a one or the other? You can't buy both. Like, you have to make a choice. This is gonna be hard if that's the case.
It's gotta be.
So he says yes. So maybe you and I answer it, and then everyone else should have to play. But you just have to put. All you can put in the chat is just MVSX or iiArcade. Yeah. You have to select one. Must choose, he says. That's a tough one.
Here's my thought. It's tough, right? Because it kind of depends on. We always say this, right? So the MVSX will only have games from the SNK catalog. We know it's going to have 50 games. It's possible it's going to have more because of the text that's on the box Classic Edition. Does that imply they'll have different editions?
Someone made a point on that earlier. I think it was in the I created that or Justin and I created this MVSX fan group thing, and someone made a good point. They're like, we could just be reading into that. Like, there may not be another, you know what I mean? So, because I feel like we always want to look for answers, so we're examining the photo and everything. But I'm gonna give my answer straight. I'm gonna give it like easy with a one sentence explanation. I'm gonna try to make it one sentence. All right, so it's because I only have a choice of one or the other. I'm gonna say iiArcade because I like what they're doing with all their game licenses, and I think that's promising. And I'm gonna say that I'm going to be optimistic about their future, so that's why I'm going to choose them. I think they're going to do some really cool things, and so I think I'll have more options for the future, even though I love Neo Geo games.
All right, so I'm going to go the other way, and I'll tell you why. Although I do agree with the things that you've said.
Thank you.
There's one thing that iiArcade is missing. It doesn't look like anything I remember from my childhood.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yet the Walmart across the street had a Neo Geo.
Now, did you ever have marble countertops in your house as a kid?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
The rich family down the street did.
Wait. The person that's buying the Supreme cabinet does. Their whole house is marble. Yeah. They're like, what do you mean this is made of particle board? It's ridiculous. Dominic says one long run-on sentence. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. So that's pretty good. I think we're all caught up. Let's get another one going. You guys.
So do you think? But do you think that? You see where I'm coming from, right? Like because if I'm someone buying something for $500, I have a chance to get more experiences with that cabinet the way it's designed. Like, let's say, because we're taking it at face value, right? Like, the MVSX only can run those 50 games, and we'll say that the iiArcade is online with more games capable in the future. So that's why I'm kind of going that direction. If I only had limited space for one or the other, unless I was I'm going too long. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. People make a good point. Like, the moment you talk about modding, both are equally capable.
Well, they both change once you talk about modding. But keep in mind, so Zhang has said that there will be no, at least unless you're ripping apart the whole unit,
like an arcade 1-up.
Yeah, like it would have to be. It sounds like to mod an iiArcade is going to be a full mod. Like, you'd have to take everything out. I mean, you can reuse the screen and stuff, assuming that's we should be able to do that. But it won't be hack it to play different games.
That's right.
At least
they're going to go.
That's what they're. Yeah.
And I've been following. Arcade 1-Up's advancements in their technology, and they continue to evolve their product. I swear they're calling their manufacturer and they're saying, make it more secure, make it more secure. Even on their latest countercade, all the components on it are like just made for more security. Like, is the first time I've seen. I'll try to put this in ways that Ralph won't get annoyed by.
Yeah, please.
I won't use big technical words. The high score, I don't believe, is stored on the same chip that processes the emulator. It's a different chip. And the reason why companies do that, when I worked for hardware manufacturers that did that, is because the flash memory is secure. It's signed. It's tamper-proof. It's some companies go as far as it's masked. It's like you can't reprogram it. I don't think they went that far. Like a lot of cartridge games, Nintendo and Sega did that. Like they have a chip in there that holds the ROM of the game. You can't rewrite it because it's like kind of like, think of it like baked in, you know? I don't know if Arcade went that far, but I don't even think they want the high scores to be stored where the ROMs are stored because they're adding extra security. And the chips themselves are the type that are difficult to tamper with. So I think they're going pretty far to make sure that their PCB is secure because they want to show respect to the publishers that, sure, you can hack it, but it'll require you to completely rip it out. So a publisher calls Arcade 1-Up and says, hey, we hear there's a whole bunch of people that are hacking your arcade and sideloading games. Arcade 1-Up can reply to these really big publishers. Be like, they're completely removing the unit and replacing it with a multi-purpose computer. Like, you know, they're not hacking our system. They're just using the wood.
They can't ever point to Arcade 1-Up and say, you've put something together that allows for this to happen. It's basically they're securing it to the point where it makes it almost impossible, right? I mean, not impossible, but it'd be pretty damn hard.
Yeah. Like when the first generation Arcade 1-Ups came out, when it was still like a toy, you could totally access inside it. You can connect to it and you can sideload ROMs. It's not popular because no one made an easy tool to do it. And it's so much easier just buy a $30 Raspberry Pi, and that community kind of blew up. But try to do any of those techniques to Gen 3, or maybe this new version should be called Gen 4 because they at least the countercades look a little bit more advanced than the previous ones.
I don't know if you guys ever remember, but there was in the early days of Arcade 1-Up being out, there was it wasn't to load games, but when they had released the Rampage cabinet, there was a hack where you could take a female USB connector and you could solder it solder it onto 4 points on the board. And if you did that, you could hook up a keyboard to it. And it was, at that time, it actually was running MAME. They weren't using commercial emulators. So you'd go in and press tab, and all the other games it wasn't all the other games, but it was whatever games were, I don't know, what they were testing in that configuration on that board were still there. So you could play like Arkanoid and other games on it. It was kind of a pain to do, but at the time, everyone was like, we were all so curious what it was running on. And at the time, it really literally was MAME, and everyone was kind of freaking out in all the Facebook groups because they're like, oh my God. So it became popular to do this like little hack. And it was more of just like I don't know, it was kind of cool to get in there and go get under the covers just to see. And now it's so locked down that most of the people don't even bother to try. There's a super chat here. It was thank you for that, by the way. It said MVSX feels like a good deal to me at $500. Current Neo Geo ROMs or games, I'm assuming he's saying on Microsoft Store are $8 a pop. So that's only another $100 for the cab itself. So yeah, that's cool. He's right. I mean, it is a good deal for them to have 50 already on there. And if history is any proof of what they might possibly do, I mean, that Arcade Stick Pro, they had those hidden games on there, and if you go to the website, it shows you how to unlock those games. I have a feeling that they're going to do something similar with this. Now, whether they're going to charge or not for it, I have no idea, but I think there's going to be a lot of Easter eggs in this, just because it seems like they like doing that. So, I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool. They seem to be focused on quality. That Arcade Stick Pro was pretty awesome. If you don't have one and you love Neo Geo and the fighting games, plus you can get those extra 20, which have most of the Metal Slugs on there. it's a pretty good deal. If you don't care about the cabinet, the Arcade Stick Pro is really cool. And the sticks and buttons are actually very good on it. Like, you could change them out, but they're very good. So I recommend that thing big time. All right. But then we were going to... I'm waiting for the Zork Hobby Hand Super Chat, the Zork cabinet. I'm guessing you're joking about that one, but that's pretty funny. Zork was text only, wasn't it?
Is that right?
Wasn't Zork? I think Zork was just text. I'm pretty sure, at least.
Is that right?
Yeah, because I think you're getting Zork, and I think you're thinking of Mist for some reason. In my head, I think you're thinking Mist.
Could be.
I think Zork was text only because I know I had that game. I mean, there maybe was a graphical version of Zork, but I'm pretty sure the version I played, one of the first ones, was not. It was just text, I'm pretty sure. Wow, that game's old, dude.
Yeah,
Zork 1 was 1980.
That's the thing.
It's crazy.
Neo Geo MVSX, the other cool thing is it's 50 games. So it's actually a really good number of games.
It's a really good number of games. I mean...
Yeah, so I don't know.
You and I were talking about this today.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because I think there's a lot of people that have different viewpoints, and sometimes it's hard to express your opinion when you're kind of expecting the people with different opinions to counter back. But so if we look at the landscape, right? You got Arcade 1-Up, and they got their model, right? And it's kind of maybe it's the Netflix model. I don't know what you call it. And then you have AtGames, who sold a single cabinet with 350 games, and they have some different tech behind it. I don't think there was anything that AtGames released that moved the needle. What I mean is, we didn't see Arcade 1-Up change their plan because they saw, hey, AtGames did this thing. Didn't happen. Like, Arcade 1-Up seems to just listen to their customers and enhance the product and keep working on new titles. They're still doing on average 4 games a unit.
Yeah, which we're gladly buying, but I think that will get long in the tooth eventually,
right?
Especially if this becomes the norm, right? If companies like this pop up and go, hey, we're going to do 50 of our titles, I think that will be hard that'll be hard to keep selling 5 and 6 and 5 and like, dude, you and I were talking earlier.
That's right.
What would have made an awesome... It's almost like I want to take the Street Fighter Black Series head-to-head PCB and put that in a cabinet. It has, I think it had 12... It's either 10 or 12 games, and there's a lot of Capcom titles on there.
Right. So I think
it's like
I think we may see that. And that's why I think the Neo Geo MVSX is interesting. Because it's the first time me observing everything going, okay, let's run through it. Arcade 1-Up is doing their thing. They're clearly the leaders in the market. They have more market share than anyone. And you can people that love the competition can argue that the competition's better, but the proof is in the pudding. The Arcade 1-Up is still winning, right? They have more, they're advancing in more demographics. Their reach is bigger. They're in more retailers. All the retailers trust them. Clearly, all the publishers trust them with their product, and they continue to just capture all of us in our 30s and 40s and kind of beyond as well, 50s and 20s, whatever. So they're doing something right. AtGames does their thing. Arcade 1-Up, stay the course, right? Toy Shock, stay the course. Maybe Toy Shock coming out was interesting. Maybe that got them going, oh, crap, we missed the idea. We could have done pinball earlier. Toy Shock got to us first. But they used the existing model that they already had, which was, we're going to use big titles like Star Wars and Marvel to capture your attention.
Yeah,
we're going to work with Disney, and we're going to work with Zen, and we're going to make it happen. So they do that. And then you have kind of iiArcade finding a niche, like a hole in the market. It says, okay, AtGames is doing this, Arcade 1-Up is doing this. Okay, what if I do 10 games, but you can buy the games individually, right? And, he's not necessarily someone that I thought would be able to get those licenses, but he did. He kept on grabbing more and more and more. He got Sega. That was a big deal. And some of the games that are on there. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to get these games that are like Android-based games, but they're going to work well on my hardware. Like, okay, that's kind of cool. And then Neo Geo SNK MVS comes out and says, yeah, we own the license to all the games. We're just going to make them. Here's 50 games. Now all of a sudden we're like, what? 50
Yeah, it's great,
really
yeah.
good games, right? It's not just like,
Pretty good.
well, I'm saying in comparison to
yeah.
to like the 350 games that are in the app game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean,
and it's
I
weird
agree.
too, because we were talking about this too. We're like, wait a second, some of those SNK games are actually in ArcadeNet for app games, but why isn't everyone freaking out about that?
Because they're not advertised.
No. And I don't know. I played with it, and I don't know. I think maybe, I don't know if there were some license reasons why they had to put those SNK games in the cloud, because now they're like streaming to you over MPEG, and I just don't
I mean,
know.
it's
Right
kinda
now, I don't
weird.
want to play retro games over MPEG, so that's just not my thing.
I mean, it's kind of weird to like. It does make me. It's good food for thought to say, okay, you've got this cabinet, and I'm not. It's not fair to say all 350 suck of the first thing, but I'd say like the games that you'd want to play, you could maybe shave that down to like that like our marquee titles, right? You probably only have like a handful of ones that you could even maybe put into that category of marquee titles, and so you now you've got this small list. But then you have ArcadeNet, which is their streaming service, which has a lot of really good SNK games on it. They got Art of Fighting, they got King of Fight, I think they have one of the King of Fighters on there. They have several Metal Slugs. It's kind of like if I was marketing the cabinet, I'd be like, why wouldn't we put those? Like those should be on the kick plate because those are very recognizable. So that's why that doesn't make sense to me though. Like I don't get that because it's like, well, don't you want to hook people to buy the cabinet? That's why Street Fighter was a great like wave one cabinet, because who the hell doesn't love it? Like
That's right.
Every gamer loves it. Like I mean, maybe there's some people that don't like it, but you got Street Fighter and you got Mortal Kombat. You like one of them, right? Like you like one of those titles. So it was like, that's gold for Arcade 1-Up to go, all right, we're going to hook you here. It's weird to me because what hooks you when you look at the act games? There isn't like a signature title, but then it kind of makes me think maybe they don't care because it's more about quantity than quality. I don't know. Like maybe it's more about like, I'm going to wow you with the number and I want the 350. That's a ton. So that one does make me scratch my head. I agree with you. I don't get that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
It's funny. I think Arcade 1-Up has done really good with their marketing. They really shine with that. The fact that they can, I mean, if we had access to their roadmap, what would that look like? When John D was here, remember? Imagine you had access to the roadmap.
Well, someone
that
actually asked
roadmap
a
probably
question.
says, hold on, let me finish this thought. You have 5 years. They probably already have planned out, like, we're doing these titles, then these titles, and these titles. And it's these categories, whatever. And I think they're just going to keep going. I think maybe they may make little turns because of, like, the SNK 50 games. Like, to your point, like, maybe they'll do the, okay, when we redo Street Fighter, let's go ahead and throw 12 games in it.
Yeah, and the only thing that I can think of is, this is something that I don't know anything about unless you do, is I don't know how much, when they're negotiating licenses on a cabinet, I don't know how much they make them pay for each one of those licenses when they say, okay, you can put these 4 games. Maybe right now, to make it feasible for them or get the margins that they think they need to sell it, they're like, well, it has to be 5 or less, or it has to be whatever. So maybe that's the thing, right? Where SNK, the thing where you brought it up, Justin, is like, well, SNK owns all those. So like for them, it's probably not very expensive to say, here's 50 bundled in, right? Where they can go, yeah, we'll bundle all 50, all good. We own the licenses. We own the rights to them, so it's all good. So maybe that's part of it too. Now, that may also be the reason why the 350 on the act games isn't all that great, because you put great games on there, you're going to pay more for the great games. So you go with the lesser ones to hook the person to buy it. It's 350, So yeah. I don't know. It's weird. I wish I knew that part of it. I don't know what those costs look like, which we'll never know because I'm not going to share that with us. But I wish I knew what the cost what a negotiated cost for Arcade 1-Up it is for a single title with the game's license. Like, what does that cost them? I bet it's not a lot, but I bet that's, they started adding like, oh, we're going to add light up marquees. I mean, you mentioned someone, I think it was Zohar. He goes, well, I can't believe it was $300 back in the day. Well, they keep adding things, and those Those are community ads, right? Third parties
I don't
made
know.
light up marquees. No,
The
but
thing,
dude,
do you remember when they were
light up
$300?
marquees is a standard thing.
Yeah, but we're gonna see. I'm sure we're gonna see. Target's gonna pick up, the X-Men cabinet. It's gonna be $299, and it has no light up marquee. It
But
has
have we
no
seen
riser.
them go that way? I haven't seen them.
They did it with
strip out the light
Marvel.
up. They had a Marvel without a light up marquee.
Yeah, a $299 Marvel. Yeah.
See, I didn't follow that because I bought
that Gen 1 model.
So you think they're
idea-
going to still go the 300? That they will have cabinets available for
But see-
300.
see,
They
this
won't
is the
force
thing
you
I'm
into
saying.
the riser.
They
'Cause
may. It's very clear that they're doing
Seems
more.
like that's
We're
what they're
just,
doing.
Yeah. But I think it's because the demand's there. Like, who's picking
Yeah.
up without a light up marquee and a riser anyway?
Well, but
I
think
think
about it
they're
though.
just-
Before you paid 300 for the cabinet, right?
Yeah.
And then you paid what? It was $44 for the riser. I
Mhm.
think that's what the retail price was. So you're at, without taxes, you're at 340, right? Around there. You're at 344, 345. And that was it. Like, you were done. Like, you did, unless you modded it, you were done. So now you didn't have a light up marquee. You had to forego the light up marquee. You maybe only had one speaker. You didn't have two speakers. But that was, I think, a little bit more, I don't know, that number, the $299 in your mind just seems a hell of a lot cheaper than $499. Like, when you start saying like $500, I don't know why I think it has a different emotional effect on
It is a different
someone.
bundle. Like, in my head,
No,
I'm still
I get
saying
it.
it
You're
is a
getting
different
some
bundle.
Yeah, and you're getting some value there. I can see that, but
I mean,
I don't know,
it's
it'll be
kind of like
interesting.
back in the day where you get an NES for $100, but it only has one controller. But you can get another one that has two controllers and a game, and it's like $150.
yeah.
And it was like, oh my God, they're raising the price. Well, no, they're making a package that it's more expensive, but it comes with more.
Yeah.
I would be
just think
really upset if it was $500 for a cabinet and it had no light up marquee and it had no riser.
of course.
Then it'll be like, oh my God, they're raising the rates.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they're really raising the rates.
Yeah, but I think I'm so jaded by, like, here's the thing, and I was telling Justin this, like, this community is so jaded because everyone here probably has 3 of them or 5 of them or more than one, put it that way. But the person that's buying these now, that like, they don't expect you to go, I'm buying every one. I'm going to buy all 30 cabinets or whatever it is. I don't know how many they have now. It's probably not 30 yet, but it's close.
Close,
like someone saying, I'm buying all of them. And I think now they're like, yeah, we're going to diversify. We're going to do SKUs for QVC. We're going to do SKUs for, Home Shopping Network. We're going to do SKUs for Walmart and Best Buy and Target and all these places. And they're all so different. And it's going to make us really confused because we're like these fans that want to buy all these things. But for everyone else, they're going to buy one and it's going to be one and done like that. Like a lot of people just buy one and maybe they never buy them ever again. Maybe they don't think about them. They don't go in a Facebook group. They don't watch shows like this. They don't care. And so I think there's a lot of people that are in that category it'll be that quick. Act Games did this forever. What did they do? Here's a handheld console. I'm going to put Pac-Man on it, and I'm going to put it in freaking CVS. I'm going to put it in Walgreens. And people be walking and go with their wives or whatever and be like, oh my gosh, did you see the little Pac-Man thing? I love Pac-Man. And they bring it home, and it's not great emulation. It was kind of junk. But that was like, that person's never buying another one. It was like, I'm not saying that Arcade 1-Up's cash grabbing, but they're definitely like trying to get to that customer. The nostalgia
they're similar to that model in the sense that they're going wide with different titles that appeal to different people.
For sure. And in different configurations.
Exactly. And so that is why we're like kind of going crazy with the SKUs right now. We're like, oh my gosh, there's all these SKUs. I think it's more like they grew to the point where they can manage this number of SKUs.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what we can manage because to the average person that's buying it, he only found the NBA Jam from Costco. Didn't even know that Arcade 1-Up ever existed.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, I want to grab some of these super chats because we've been kind of discussing it and haven't grabbed one. The Raven at Rue Morgue movie said, do you think Arcade 1-Up will up their game in the future with newcomers coming out with better quality home arcade games? So I'm going to do this really fast. So I think Arcade 1-Up did improve a lot from the beginning. And I personally think it was because, like, if there was one community that they really used to try to ideas, it was the ones that were modding it. Because they're like, what are people adding to it? Oh, it's just an aesthetic thing. They just want the marquee to light up. Oh, hey guys, let's do some research and development on light up marquees. They're modding it and putting an amp in and speakers. Hey guys, let's do stereo speakers. It's like, what little added things can we do that don't change our overall assembly? Because if you think about it, the things that most critical, they need those side panels to be the same because they're cutting a whole bunch of them. They need the front panel to be the same, cutting a whole bunch of them. And they need that riser, the same. All they do is skin it with this artwork, skin it with that artwork, add the light-up marquee, add speakers, boom, done. And the PCB is all the same. It's unified PCB almost on everything other than the countercade. So it's like flash the PCB with these games. So I think when you say, will they do better quality or up their game, I don't know. Like Justin and I were talking about this. Will they do more of these interesting custom shaped cabinets?
See, I think that's how they can
costs
diversify.
them more to do. But it would be. But I think that would hook us.
Yes. So
right, it would hook us. I think
the reason why I think they may do that is because John D, when we had him on the show, he was talking about Dragon's Lair, right? And he was kind of saying like, so I don't know if they had planned on doing Dragon's Lair and have it be like basically a replica or closer to the true form, or if now that iiArcade has actually released they got a Dragon's Lair game included in their 10 games. Is that right? It's included in the 10, or it's included in the... Or is,
no,
I can't. Now I'm forgetting.
Yes, no. The
first one is
buy
you
the
can buy the
Dragon's
other ones.
Lair. You get the first one. The other two will be available. But the one thing is, so I asked. There was some conflicting information out there because I asked their marketing guy. It was the arcade version of Dragon's Lair, and he said yes. And then I've been seeing this question float around whether it is or not. If it's not, I'd be kind of disappointed because he said yes, so that's what I'm going on, that it's the arcade version. I don't think there really was ever any real good console versions of that outside of like the one on the Switch. Unless someone can correct me, I don't remember there being a good Dragon's Lair console version. They were all pretty bad. Like the Sega CD one was pretty crap.
Was there ever an Android version?
I don't think so. Was there? Oh, well, good point. I don't know.
Good question, right?
Actually, that's a really good question because it would run
their
on their hardware.
platform basically supports the Android
I don't know.
games.
But yeah,
are you guys ready? Are we gonna do this?
Yeah, can I get to one more thing real quick before we do it? So, because Daniel's been waiting a little while. So, Daniel May said, what's your thoughts on the Game Room Solutions shooter cabinet? I got one coming to Australia with two Sidon light guns, not Sinden. Wait, is it Sinden? Now I'm actually forgetting again. Sidon,
it's Sinden,
right?
but
no, Sinden.
Sinden.
No, he put Sidon. It's Sinden. Oh, my God. I can't even get it right after Stringer made a video about all of the... Okay, so basically, those of you who don't know... Can I pull it up really fast? It's kind of a cool cabinet. They just sell wood, guys, by the way, so don't get too excited. You okay with me pulling it up, Justin, real quick? I know you're very eager beaver to
No. What the only thing I'm eager about is, obviously tonight our plan was to go live with no regular agenda, no topic, and just chat.
Yeah.
And it's for some reason, it's either me or it's Ralph. We get on a topic and we rant on it for too long. And then basically Ralph and I are just having a conversation with each other. And they were like, hey, we should get back to the chat because there's like all these really good questions that we should get to. So
this was the cabinet that Daniel was talking about. It's basically modeled. It's a shooting cabinet it has like a riser, kind of like an arcade one. But yeah, he sells it like this. He's using Ultimark aim track guns in this. But I mean, it's cool. I think this with Sinden, I said it right. This could be really cool with Sinden light guns. The only thing that I've yet to test, like I don't have one yet, and I'm waiting for mine for a while now. I hope the compatibility is high with a lot of the games that I'd want it to play. So we'll have to see. And I'm not sure exactly.
Oh, I thought, isn't this bring your own hardware?
Yeah. This is but the thing is, like the Sidon.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
He's saying
Sinden.
he's buying the Sinden light gun. So
you're wondering if the Sinden has high compatibility.
Yeah, like I haven't really paid attention to all of the compatibility on different games and systems and things like that. But this is a cool cabinet. They did a good job putting this together. I think it's pretty neat. You could build a pretty cool shooting cabinet out of something like that. That's for sure. For educational purposes only. All right. So you got something queued up here? Did you load it into the system, or did you...
No, here's what I'm afraid of. We're not caught up with the chat, and the chat goes away if you don't keep up with it. So, And I don't want to just
There's so
jump
much
to
chatting
super
going
chats.
on.
There's a lot of really good stuff in here.
Stringer said, "Damn it, I got Arcade 1-Up T2 graphics in the mail." The Action Toad, he's new. I'd never seen them before. Hello, how you doing?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. All right, let's see. I'm trying to find. Zohar had one here. He said, "I think the number one thing Arcade 1-Up should focus on is moving forward with better sticks. How much more would it really cost them?" Hey, I've said that to him before. I don't understand all their cost models, but
So I'm going to jump around because I see a good one. I'm sorry. You were. I thought you were finishing, but you weren't. Go ahead.
no, Chef Dave had one. He said, "If they've sold 1 million cabs, then we've bought over 10 billion buttons. I'm sure they can get a deal." That's, I mean, you think about it. All right. GameStop says, "Now Arcade 1-Up is going to have to release a cabinet replica to really up the sales." I don't know what I must have been talking and I forgot that.
So Neo Mo 5 says the impulsive buy works though. I literally was on a Target run for diapers. Didn't even know they sold Marvel until I saw it in the store on sale. Was not a planned purchase for me.
Yeah, and I've actually gone in the earlier days of 1-Up. I've actually gone to. That's kind of how I got my Rampage. I literally was there, and it happened to be there, and I'm like, like I liked Rampage. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna get it. And it was like I had like a steak. I had like steaks in the. I was planning on grilling. I think I had like steaks in the cart and some like butter and an Arcade 1-Up. It's kind of crazy.
All right, so let's
is
go
this
ahead.
Really going to be dirty though? How dirty is this going to be? I'm really nervous that it's going to be really bad. Like I don't want to offend people. Is it that bad?
I don't know. I haven't watched it, so
I know, but you're ready to just go with it without. You don't even want to like watch it on the side first or something. Like, do you want to like remove yourself from the stream and just at least preview it to make sure it's okay?
No, because then if it is bad, they'll be like, "Oh, Justin played a video. He screened it and it was still bad." I'd say
it's better to just.
Stringer says it's not bad. He says it's not bad.
He says PG-13. All right.
That's fine. You guys ready for this?
I, as a kid, thought I was so good, and I think I was like sometimes you can't remember exactly.
Him and his sister, and they were young at the time, right? They were kids. They did something wrong.
A fun experience for me. You know what I mean?
Tell me what goes through your mind when you touch your sister.
Oof. Snuck into my sister's room. I was doing something really bad.
Oh my god!
And I got really excited. But I was with Vanilla Ice, my sister. Her with no top on.
Is that gratifying to you?
That's what she said.
Sorry.
You know what? I love doing it, and I had a great time. And I remember like going out of a room really quick, like, I can't believe I saw that.
This for you has been an irresistible impulse.
You beat it, and that you felt good about beating it. Oh god. The one thing it did make me realize is that it's not healthy to keep something pent up inside. I took a path that, I actually regret now.
What do you think about what he's saying?
Ralph is having issues.
I did it, right? So I got to own up that I did that.
And no one looked underneath the bed.
That's a whole other story. Oh my god. Wow.
Word to your mother.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So
okay.
it's time to do a review on Stringer Films content. Yeah. So
Zero Heroes says I'm looking under my bed tonight. You know, if I had any place to think where Stringer might go with this, is I don't remember what stream we did. I did talk about my friend having something under his bed in a one up weekly episode. And I think he could go there. And like there is some content. I'm trying to figure out where he could go from this, but yeah, we'll see. Oh, I'm sorry you
People
spit out your bourbon, man. That was really funny. People said Vanilla Ice was a nice touch. Oh my gosh, I don't even know
All right, I think
what to say.
I don't know about you, but I have time for one more topic. We can probably get one going if let's see how quickly someone can throw out a topic here.
So, by the way, Zohar would like to do a survey to say, type 1 in the chat if you would like to see an episode 2. What? He says I have 4 to 5 episodes he's currently working on? How is that possible?
Well, here's the thing. Stringer Films, right? It's in the name.
Yeah,
I think
I
the
know.
guy knows how to make films, right?
I know. Well, we definitely have enough video out there for content. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Wow. Okay, what was it, Justin? What did you want to talk about?
Whatever anyone else
Lots of
wants to
ones.
talk about, I think. Oh, great.
There will definitely be another one. Ryan doesn't want it. Ryan's like, you guys stop talking about this. Oh, and then he got to ask the question, are we doing a live stream of auction on Saturday? Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of ones. So,
All from-
wait, what the heck? How did you do that? Oh, he's just doing them all in a row?
He's just
I'm surprised
spamming.
it's not. Yeah. All right, so
So the first one I saw was Chef Dave, iiArcade post about pirating games.
you want to talk about that?
I think we kind of covered it already.
Yeah. I feel
Well,
like
no,
we kinda
no.
did.
I think we. Okay, let me say to you, Ralph, the argument that I've heard many people say.
Okay.
Jong should not have made that post because he doesn't realize that he's telling a whole bunch of people something that they like to do, that what they're doing is wrong. And it was a mistake for him to market that topic.
That's your opinion of the post?
No. I'm telling you what
Oh,
I've
you
heard
think people will
say.
Oh, people have interpreted the post that way.
Yeah, I've read that.
Oh, okay. I didn't read the
I've read a
comments.
few people say like, "Whoa, dude, you should shut that down because you just came into a group and said piracy is bad, and there's a whole bunch of pirates in here, and you're really going to upset them." I'm kind of reading into it a little bit, but
Yeah, I mean,
that's an opinion that some people have.
yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? I have a lot of
Zohar
respect.
says, "I don't think we should talk about this."
I have a lot of respect for the fact that he wants to build, I'm taking it's worth that he's being authentic here, right? I don't personally know him, but I'm assuming that he's being authentic when he says this. I think he really wants to try to build a platform that people can publish their games on and people pay for them and it supports the publishers. That's his sort of talk track. And I don't think anybody here would have a problem with that. I think we all would agree that if you can reward the developer that made the game somehow, then the publisher gets paid and everything. That's a good thing, right? Game development continues on and we get great games. And then his platform's allowing you to choose the ones you want to buy. I think that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the convenience aspect of, hey, if it's on there, I can get it, right? I mean, Justin, that's one of the things that I think we've said before is, let's just say that there's 100, we could probably easily say there's probably 150 games that frequently get downloaded and played, and they're pirated games, right? There's like a popular list that always continues to get downloaded, and those games maybe aren't available anywhere else, right? So the person that's doing it could use the excuse of, there's no other place for me to get this, so how do you expect me to play it, right? Now, if he starts going after these bigger names of games, like, I don't know, if someone had the opportunity to build, let's say they were interested in building a Street Fighter cab with a MAME PC, and they were going to put every version of Street Fighter on it that runs on MAME. If Zhang offered it on his console, and I could download them for $2 a piece and have them in a couple minutes to play, would I do that out of the convenience aspect? That would at least make someone pause and go, maybe I won't do that because it's a lot more time consuming. You know what I mean? But there is a big part of the hobby. There's a huge part of the hobby that I've been in forever. Before any of this was before anyone even cared about off the shelf home arcade products because they really didn't exist. That's how you built it. People would go go buy some wood, right? A wood kit, or they'd build it themselves. They'd get a PC, they'd install MAME, They put the games on they want to run on it. I think what he's trying to say is, look, I'm selling a product here. I need to make money. I want to support the publishers, but that part of the hobby is still going to exist no matter what. It's always going to be there.
Well, here's my
It's
thought
just
on
he's
it.
selling a product. He's a big company. He doesn't want to encourage people stealing the games. He wants to encourage people buying them, which in turn, the talk track is it helps everyone else out, which means game development continues on. That's like kind of the talk track there.
Yeah, I think there's a very simple, I'm going to try to make it super simple. One of the best ways to fight piracy is make it really easy
Make it
to be
accessible,
legit.
right?
Yeah.
It's basically
So
what
think
iTunes
of the
did, right?
Napster to iTunes model, right? Everyone was stealing music with Napster. There was a fight and kind of went away. iTunes came out, and a lot of people, or even now, like fast forward 20 years, right? A lot of people are just listening to music on services like Pandora. Like my brother is saying, like, he's a producer and he helps bands produce. He has some of his bands making a lot of money just on streaming services. They're not even making albums anymore. Like it's a completely different model now. It's like they can just put up a song, and tons of people say to Alexa, "Hey, play this band," and tons of people are saying that every day, and that band's making a lot of money because of that service is either a premium service that you pay for, or they have ads on it. Well, in a lot of sense, the new generation, I don't know if the new generation is even downloading MP3s.
Dude, my
Like,
daughter,
your kids, do they?
No, both straight Pandora and what's the one that everyone uses now? The replacement one, the one everyone uses. You mentioned it a second ago. Spotify or something.
Spotify,
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Yeah, literally. I don't even think she'd even think to go into iTunes to do it. It's Spotify everything.
Yeah, why? And then why would she go online and download an MP3 from an illegal torrent site? Like she probably doesn't even know what torrent is.
She probably doesn't know what torrent is. She may not even know. I should ask her. I bet she doesn't know what an MP3 is. I bet she has no clue what it is. I think
why
there are
would
people.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I bet they don't know for sure. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh,
so there's that side.
Alexa, turn off arcade. How many of you guys' arcades just went, Alexa, turn on arcade?
You're telling everyone. Are they in their arcade room? That's the thing. So the one other thing I want to say, I have seen response to people talking about the post from iiArcade, and they want to defend piracy. And I don't think anything the things that I've read aren't really good defenses. And I want to separate it. There's piracy, and then there's reverse engineering. Reverse engineering is not illegal. Like if you cleanly reverse engineer a product and you're not violating the DMCA, which is, you're basically not circumventing any security that's on the system and then discovering their source code or just, disassembling their code and trying to recreate it from that. If you're purely black box reverse engineering a product, that's not piracy. So there's a lot of products out there that do that recreate gaming systems at the circuit level, at the logic level, and they're doing it with full black box reverse engineering. Downloading games is illegal. If you didn't pay for that game, that's illegal. Crossing the street is illegal, without a crosswalk. If you jaywalk, that's illegal. Now, is the cop gonna bust you for jaywalking? Speeding is illegal. Do you speed? Downloading video games that you didn't pay for is illegal. Do you do that? So there's a level of some people do things that are illegal. I'm not going to judge you for that. I'm not going to. If I was driving with you and you were going 5 miles over the speed limit, I'm not going to freak out and be like, "Oh my God, he's going 5 miles over the speed limit." But if it was raining and the traffic is really bad and you're making me scared to be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And so I think it's dumb to argue that something's not illegal when it is. You should argue more of I do it anyway, whatever. You don't care about that law, whatever, I do respect what Jung is doing. I still think he found a niche in the market. It's a niche. He found a niche in the market, and it is basically he wants to sell games a la carte. And if you think through that business model, you're going to build a business and your business is to get into the home arcade market and you're going to sell games a la carte, guess what your marketing strategy is going to be? Piracy hurts businesses. It's what you would do too.
No, I agree. That was very well said. And I think, if you really dive into it, if we're going to get into like deciphering marketing strategies, if I'm actually, do you remember the episode we did where we were saying that iiArcade was calling out at games a little bit? Like they were poking at games. Do you remember on their website, there's all these pokes at games?
What was it?
It was like they said things like, acquire your games legally. And they had like a bunch of little pokes. And it was like, so basically, and they were kind of saying like, you don't have to mess with, things to get games working and stuff like that. Cause they're building like all of the button mappings are going to be predetermined for every game, which is actually cool because no one likes messing with button mappings. But I think that it's a direct, like, who's their competitor? Their competitor is at games. The only other multi-cade device that's out there is at games. So if you think about it, I think it's a direct poke at them because what they're selling is a machine with 350 games in it that people question how good they are. And then to add the games, you've got to go download the ROMs and add them with an add-on tool or something like that. So I think there's also some of that going on. It's like, let's point to that, but we're kind of poking them, like, hey, maybe you guys should clean up your act. And I think it's interesting because you got Arcade One Up who says, we're okay if someone wants to play a fair fight. So they're kind of calling out at games saying, well, you're not playing a fair fight because we're selling licensed versions of games and if someone's playing the game we're selling on our machine, like if they're playing Mortal Kombat on your cabinet, they're technically not doing that legally. So they're calling them out for that, right? They're going, hey, that's not a clean fight. You're playing Mortal Kombat on a cabinet that's not supposed to play Mortal Kombat, that's not licensed to play Mortal Kombat. And then you got Zhang saying, hey, look, if you want to play Mortal Kombat, that's cool. I'm going to offer it in my app store. You don't have to download it illegally. You pay $2 or whatever. Well, just making stuff up. You pay a couple bucks and you're playing it in a couple minutes, right? So you have different strategies. This one's going to look like the original cabinet with the original artwork. This one you're gonna play Mortal Kombat illegally on, and this one I'm gonna talk to Midway and try to get the license from them to offer it on my store. I'm using Mortal Kombat as an example because Arcade One Up has it. iiArcade could talk to Midway and potentially secure that license, and you have the one in the middle who's like they don't have that game on there. Maybe it's not fair because I picked a game they don't have, but I don't know if there's a game that exists on all three.
Burger
Is
Time.
There? Did they have Burger Time on iiArcade?
They probably could get it, right?
Okay. Well, so maybe my example wasn't fair, but you guys get the point. And I'm not trying to make it a slam. It's just the two guys now that are going to try to be in your living room for the multicade is iiArcade and At Games. Those are your multicade choices. So,
yeah, I think there's a lot of different arguments. I want to do the one that was like find all the people that bought the Burger Time cabinet and then yell at them for not buying the At Games and see what they say. They're probably going to be like, okay, so Burger Time is on the At Games cabinet.
Yeah.
So Burger Time At Games was the first arcade cabinet to have Burger Time.
Yeah.
And then Arcade One Up came out with their special edition cabinet that was Burger Time cabinet, limited edition.
Yeah.
And tons of people were like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm going to buy it. And they had to pay an arm and a leg for it because there's like $50 shipping, right? It was like, wasn't it like $3.99?
Yeah.
If At Games availability was a little higher, there are some people that actually said, why don't you just buy At Games because it has Burger Time on it? People were like, because I want an arcade that looks like
they're like, because it doesn't look like like the cabinet. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. So they'd be like, but there are probably people that have both too. The Jolly Green says I have both. But it's just I'm trying to talk through the why I think they're saying this kind of stuff. I think they're trying to expose like, hey, look, we're trying to do it the legit way. They're kind of in this. I'm using At Games.
Not everyone's living. Like Anthony's like, look, no, I grabbed the wrong one. He's like, I will never own an iiArcade unless I win one. Then I'll
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's just choice. You know what? Everyone's gonna have choice. You can do what you want with the choices. It's just we were trying to decipher like why is iiArcade going after this, and I think they're doing it because they kind of see there's a middle ground where it's not happening that legit. They're not really going after the one-up market because their cabinet just looks like a generic cabinet. It looks it's put it this way, that cabinet isn't designed to pull on the heartstrings of Americans because that cabinet type wasn't even in America, right? So there's no nostalgia to an iiArcade, but I think it is cool, and I think it will appeal to some other modern gamers too, which may kind of get this weird sort of crossbreed of gamer where you got retro people that might like it because they can download retro games. You got some modern games. You got games that don't even
I don't
haven't
think
even been seen on
anyone's
arcade cabinets
yet to bridge that gap.
They might.
I
mean, that's kinda...
I understand the pitch. I wonder if it'll ever work.
We'll find out. I mean, we're gonna find out really freaking soon.
Your son and daughter's never gonna play any of your
no,
cabinets unless
no.
you're
I
like,
don't.
come play with dad, and they're like, okay, and maybe you got a couple
modern...
games that are really fun, you know.
No, the modern game pitch, I'm not behind. No one, I really have no desire to play a modern. Like, if you told me, hey, you're gonna play a first-person shooter on an arcade cabinet, like 0.0 part of me wants to do that. I just don't feel like there's nothing there that it makes me want to do that, at least in my opinion. But
so, Michael, I did back the iiArcade.
Yeah, and I did too. We both did.
Yeah, so we're both gonna get it. The MVS is the one that I'm not sure if I'll get because
what
tomorrow I'm
you're potentially
writing the check for a real one. So I don't know. For a minute, I was like, if I move this money over to here to over there, I could own both. But it was almost like I just don't see myself actually keeping the MVSX if I own the Big Red. So
yeah, I can see that. So Stringer says, Ralph, what's your favorite Mortal Kombat and least favorite? I feel like this is a setup question to trigger Zohar, but my favorite actually is MK1, which I know is his favorite, but it legitimately is MK1. My least favorite is probably MK4 because I just couldn't get into the polygon look of the game. Like, it changed it all for me. It was supposed to be that, like, you know, the motion capture stuff, and it was just weird. It didn't. I don't know, and the game felt clunky to me. But I know there's a lot of people that love MK4. But my favorite one by far was 1 still. Like, I don't know, something about 1 just... It's probably because 1 was the first one I saw. And they had it in our arcade for a really long time. And it was set up right next to Street Fighter. And it was like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Like, you'd go back and forth. It was awesome.
Right.
Like, it was great.
So it's interesting. I really love MK2 because my story is I never played MK1 until after I had played MK2. And so even last year when I went to the Denver, what's it called? We went there. You went there. The One Up Bar.
The One Up Bar. Yeah, that's a cool place actually.
So the
One
One
Up
Up Bar,
it's still open now.
Yeah. So the One Up Bar had like 3 or 4. It had 1, 2, and 3 separate cabinets. You know, the real ones. And I played all of them, and it was like, yeah, I was just like I kept on playing the MK2 because that was my jam. You know.
I'm trying to see if I can pull it up. So this is if you guys ever find yourself in Denver, this place is still open. It looks like. Mm-hmm. They have 2 locations, but it's really cool. They actually have they did host one of the Kong offs, I think, was here, but they got like a really great selection. Like, this is a bomb place to go if you like good beers.
It's funny. I don't think I've ever told you this. So Ralph, early on in your channel, you went downtown.
Yeah, I went there.
And I
did a video
messaged
on
you. In that video, I messaged you. This is before we were like really knew each other. And I was like, dude, I used to live in Denver, and I used to go there all the time. And it's true because I worked down the street from the downtown One Up Bar. And so after work, we'd go there and play some games. It was like something we did every couple of weeks. And it was really cool. And I was telling you about this. You know, this is like right when you made that video. And then I went to Denver for work because I still worked for that company.
Oh, and I do remember this because weren't we going to try to meet? But it didn't work, right? Yeah, it didn't work out for whatever reason. I can't remember.
Yeah,
why.
I was like, next time I go to Denver, let's get together. Man, that was a long time ago.
That was actually a really long time ago. I do actually remember that.
Yeah,
but I wish they had the picture of.
Yeah, so I went and you couldn't make it, and I filmed my entire. I filmed a video. I have like tons of video of me, like B-roll of playing different games and everything.
You do?
Literally, I have B-roll of playing almost every arcade in there, and I never published it. I never edited it, nothing. I have an
Really?
intro at the beginning. I'm like, hey guys, it's Console Kids here, and I'm here at the One Up Bar in Denver, and I want to take you inside, and we're going to take a look at all the various cabinets that they have. So let's run through them. Like I have like an entire
Really?
video that I never, yeah.
Want
I
to
don't
see
know
how
why.
bad? Check this out. Look how bad. Look how bad this thumbnail is. It's just a picture of a bar,
Dude,
arcade.
I loved your old thumbnails. That's what drew me in. Like the one with the cats. I'll go scroll around, find the one with the cat.
Yeah, I
that
think
was
there
like
is
the
one.
first video I ever saw of you, and I was like, I actually thought the picture meant something else. I thought the picture with the cat was all like the cat was talking in a cat voice.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what I was trying to do, but it was freezing ass cold. I remember, and I went in to the bar, but I was holding the camera. I had a terrible microphone, but yeah, they had I'm drinking my beer there. It was really fun. Like this place was awesome. They had a good selection. Everyone was super cool with me
See,
filming.
I remember when I was there, I
There's
texted you.
MK2.
I was like, dude, you gotta go to the one in Greenwood Village.
I went to the
south of
Lodo
Denver.
one. Yeah, I went to the Lodo.
Yeah, that's the
one.
Lodo, because the Greenwood Village one has has T2.
Look at this, dude. I don't think it had MK1 actually, which basically Zohar's now gonna like get
No,
really
I think
upset.
I think the Greenwood Village one did.
But it did have this. It did have the big X-Men, the big
yeah.
This was super fun. They didn't have as many games there, but they had a ton of the selection of pinball machines there is pretty. Oh, they had Time Crisis 3. I played Turtles for a little while. They had some really cool. They have like a ton of cool display stuff, like really neat stuff, which I guess is all the owner's stuff. He's like a big collector and he shows off some of his stuff. There's the, what the Frogger should look like, not the one-up abomination Frogger. I'm sorry, but the one-up Frogger is like the worst one-up, in my opinion, that there is. Like, it's so bad.
It's
So
kind of
bad.
funny because, yeah, I have to agree, but it's also like, I think everyone knows it's kind of the bad one. So
Yeah, no one talks about it. Like, there's no
because
reviews
everyone's
of it or
yeah,
anything.
I'm moving on. Like,
Yeah, they're like, cool story, bro. I'm out. No one wants to talk about it.
I think I might have the only review video of it at CES, and it's where I like totally
You're like-
nervous.
You're like, were you recording? Because I actually forgot how to play Frogger. I'm like, yeah, I have all of that. He's like, damn it. I'm like, sorry, dude. It's already there. Like, we'd
don't
have to
know
take
why.
it down at this point.
Like I for some reason I got really nervous right before we went on, and swear to you, I like looked at Frogger and saw a completely different screen. Like when I watched
You're like,
it back,
you run into obstacles, right? That's what you do in Frogger.
I thought they were rafts. I was looking at it at a weird angle, and I thought they were rafts I was supposed to get on.
Oh my gosh. Do you guys realize how bummed? I mean, when Justin and I knew E3, like we were on the fence whether E3 was going to have, like we were going to go this year. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to go because CES was such a cool, like it was so cool. It's weird to think that and I know you've said this a bunch, but it's weird to think that you could feel like you're there with all of you guys, even though you weren't there. It was so weird. Like, the show and the chat, and like there was all this excitement around the event, and it felt like you guys were excited even though we couldn't see you. It was just so cool. Like, if we could full-time cover big, even though it doesn't, basically the whole idea of doing conferences doesn't exist right now. If someone told me, at least, I don't know, Justin, if you'd be on board with this, if someone's like, you guys are going to go to 4 of these a year, like you're going to go to PAX East, PAX West, you're going to go to these retro shows and film them, I would be down to do that in 2 seconds. Like,
I don't know why, but it
so
reminded
much
me
fun.
of that Simpsons episode where Marge is all like, okay, Bart, if Milhouse was jumping off a bridge, Milhouse is jumping off a bridge? Because that's how I feel right now.
I actually do remember that. It's so awesome. I mean, dude, there's crazy stuff. And also we were so naive to a bunch of things at CES. Like Stringer Films is like, I felt like Bernie Sanders was there and he made that funny comment. But that's because we didn't know. Like I had maybe seen videos with Gary Stern in it before, but he was younger. And the Gary Stern today does maybe have a little Barry Sanders resemblance in him. He's an older guy. We basically, I didn't really know who, like I knew who he was, but when Justin and I were doing the preparation, I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to interview him. I'm like, Justin, what questions should we ask him? So we went back and forth and we're like, okay, cool. That's a good collection of questions.
Hold on. So that's not what happened. I have
What
to
do you
be a
mean?
little. Okay, so let's
No,
back
but
up.
I'm
So
getting to the interview
we-
part. Don't let me forget that because it's
Okay,
actually really funny.
Okay, the interview
Can I
part.
tell it really
It's over
quick?
here. Okay, go for it.
All right, I'll tell it
And
real
I'll
quick. You
retell
remember
the
your
story.
part? Okay.
Yep.
So basically, when we got to the whole here are all the questions, I'm like, all right, cool. So I get up there, and Gary Stern could give a rat's ass what question I was asking. He would
Nope.
just answer however he wanted. He's like, yeah, so we've been doing mechanical pinball for, and I'm like, what do you think about virtual pinball? He's like, yeah, so we got merch in the shop over here, and you can order we got the deluxe and the premium and the. Have you guys seen the? Have you guys seen that the new one over there, the Stranger Things? Whoa, it's awesome! If you guys take a video of that, I'll freaking kill you.
Yeah,
All right,
that was
interview
messed
over.
up. Yeah, so okay, so previously we had that hilarious episode where you played a video because we were getting excited about CES and everything that they were coming out with, and so that's when we discovered, wait, this guy looks like Ric Flair, right? And we didn't say anything until someone in the audience, someone in the chat was all like, "Oh my God, it's Ric Flair," and then it turned into a thing, right? And so when we were at CES. The entire time at CS, I was like, Ralph, please, can we, on the way, before CES even started, I had all these plans. I was like, I want to do a couple videos that are just straight up silly, straight up,
Yeah.
we're gonna film, it's like The Office, right? There's gonna be talking heads. It's gonna be this idea where okay, we're at the booth, and then all of a sudden this weird thing happens, and all of a sudden there's a jump cut to you standing in the hallway, sitting down. I'll film you, and you're like, and that was the moment I realized Justin was crazy. And then it snaps back. I wanted to do all these things, and he was like, no, let's not do that. And then so I kept on pushing him. There's even this idea where we were gonna do this skit, and he chickened out. I don't know why. It would have been hilarious. There was this idea where I was going to, you were gonna you're gonna go live. You were just gonna go live, right? And then I would be off, all pissed off, right?
Oh,
and
yeah,
you're
no,
like,
this was
I don't
gonna
know.
be good.
I don't know what Justin's doing. He's pissed. He's super mad because he couldn't play the Star Wars pinball.
Yeah, I was
And it
going to
just
make this
shows
whole
me
story up that
I'm way off in the distance, and I'm just like, "Argh." And then all of a sudden I run to the pinball, but we tell Arcade One Up it's a skit, And I run to the pinball and I start playing it, And you're like, oh my God, he's playing it, and he shouldn't be playing it. And then we would ask these security guards to tackle me. And then Ralph ends the stream. And then, of course, we'd go live later that night and be like, it was a skit. It was just funny. And Ralph's like, no, I don't think we should do that.
Don't make me sound super lame because part of me was I was also super overwhelmed with everything because we were having problems with the mics.
I was like, let's go interview the Stern guy. But the entire time, call him Ric Flair.
Yeah, okay, that I was not going to do that. That was
I pushed him so hard. Just when you're interviewing him, just be like, so Rick, no.
I feel like Gary Stern would be the kind of guy that would throat punch you and jump kick you and be like, I'm out, biatch. And I swear to God, I think he's an older guy. I would not mess with him like that.
To be fair, that is what you said. And you were like, yeah, I think he'll kill me if I do that.
I did think he'd kill me. But
you gotta, yeah, anyway.
I was so I'll tell you this, the first big show I did, if you look at the channel, the Retro Ralph channel, the first big show I did was E3. I went from doing 0 shows, never covered a show in my life. Well, actually, it's not true. I did PAX East and then E3. I learned a ton at PAX East, but I was by myself. No one to help me with cameras. No one to help me with microphones. And then I got a little bit better when I went to E3. That was with my buddy George. But at CES, I was so nervous because I wanted the content to be so good. And I wanted you guys to hear. And then we started having microphone issues. And I'm like, this sucks because I have no solution to fix this right now. So I was kind of like, Justin, you know it. I get really fixated on I wanted it to be a certain way and it couldn't be. So I think I wasn't trying to dismiss his ideas. I think I was so fixated on the content has to be good. The content has to be good. I got to fix these microphones. I remember sitting there messing with them, changing channels on them. I think I was just a little bit, it was hard for me. I think in the next one, I'll be way more level-headed and ready to do it.
Yeah.
A lot happens with those. It's distracting, right?
And that one was weird. There was a lot of things that happened. And
yeah, we got farted on by a guy that ate way too much freaking food, greasy food.
Yeah. But we figured it out. We were like, okay, so when that happens, do this. When that happens, do that. Okay, we got the experience now. We're not going to repeat these mistakes. And yeah, one of these days.
Yeah. So we got super chat here. Thank you so much. As taking my kids to Arcade Monsters in Orlando tomorrow. I've never been there before, but that's probably going to be pretty cool. Stringer says, Ralph, Justin, we're going to 4 of those in film.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Stringer
that'd be
Films
cool.
is our new hired film guy, right? We're all just gonna 3 of us go to
gosh,
that
can you hear that?
imaginary.
You guys probably can't hear that. We're having we're in monsoon season here in Arizona, and we haven't had any rain in a long time, and it is like the sky is opening up. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose electricity at some point, because it's like gnarly when we haven't had one in a long time, and this one's like violent. You can hear the thunder and lightning. So, or we can't hear the lightning, but you can see the lightning and the thunder. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah. So we gotta wrap this thing up. We're almost on 2 hours, which is like really long for one, and I gotta go.
All right, so let's wrap it up, and let's do one more thoughts in the chat, and we'll go through. It's the chat's turn for final thoughts.
Oh, the chat's gonna do final thoughts. All right.
Chat's
So give us your final thoughts of this show. What did you learn from this show? I can't wait to hear what that is. I'll say them in my final thoughts voice. Let's see. So GameStop said, definitely need an Arcade 1-Up weekly live and in-person meetup and live stream after this damn pandemic. That would be awesome. We would love that. We had talked about that before. We had talked about trying to do something. We were talking about it when it was even really a lot smaller than it is now. And
yeah, we're going to do, what was it, 1-Up Weekly Con?
Yeah, but Justin and I had talked about we were going to do it at, we were going to see if people would be willing to fly into Galloping Ghost in Illinois. Yeah. And we would like help, we would pay for everyone's food and stuff, and everyone would just have to pay for like, you know, to get there and like a one-night stay or something.
Yeah, it was something like we would, and maybe one day we can do it, but we would
maybe one day we can be big enough to do it that we can pay for like a lot of the stuff and everyone.
Yeah, well, the idea is like when you do some of those things, you can work with a hotel. You know,
yeah,
like, hey, we think we can get
stuff,
block rooms and stuff, and then we can get catered, and everyone pitches in like $5 or something like that and that all goes to the food, and then we cover a whole bunch of stuff.
So I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh, but MM has said twice that when I got crop dusted, I said it smelled terrible, and he says that's how Pittsburgh smells every time he passes through that city. He said that multiple times, so I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh, but or maybe there's some alternative meaning to that. I'm not really sure. But Pittsburgh needs to get that checked out. All right, so Show Me Retro said Ralph needs counseling from Dr. Phil. So, hey guys, it's final thoughts time. We learned that Ralph needs counseling from Dr. Phil. That's the only one we have so far. Come on. And then there's one from Stringer that says, I hope Ralph's mom and sister wasn't watching tonight. I hope so too. That would be wicked awkward. Justin Ralph, see if you can get Scott Baccarat on here. He's the master at slips. That is true. He definitely is.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Alan says, I learned that you should set the YouTube notifications so that you don't join the show at Final Thoughts. Oh, man, that sucks. Let's see. Endorsements will pay for it all. That'd be awesome if we could figure that out. By the way, Justin and I have... Actually, this is Justin's drop the ball on this one. Justin has an opportunity to meet with someone that runs a magazine that would like to do some cross advertising, and he lives in Iowa. So that one's on Justin.
It's so weird. So yeah, I live in Iowa, but like there's a retro gaming magazine. The dude's like lives a mile from me, and like one of the biggest arcade Midwest guy. He helps run the Midwest auction, and he has like 3 arcades. He's the guy I'm buying arcades from. He lives a mile from my house. And he's like, he said we could do a podcast from his arcade anytime we want. During the pandemic right now, he'll give me the keys. And I'm sorry, he's got, I don't know, he's like got 40 arcades in it's not too far from here. So maybe one of these days.
I guess we ignored everyone because Zohar said, we learned that there won't be any gaming streams this weekend since none of the gaming streams questions were answered. All right.
Yeah, Ralph's been really weird about all the like auction and game streaming stuff. He's not answering me about them either.
Okay. And Greg says, don't say pirating. It's reverse engineering. We learned that pirating is reverse engineering. Michael B has a good tip. He says, do it at Chili's. It's the new hotel meeting room, according to small businessmen. Actually, Michael B, I found out something interesting about.
He doesn't get that joke.
Isn't that's from The Office?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. But I think Michael B.
Letter to the editor.
I found out something interesting about Michael B. I think he came up on my LinkedIn, and I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. Michael B has a cool day job, it seems like, according to LinkedIn. So that's very cool. Let's see. I don't know if I see any more final thoughts. Today we learned that Ralph shares too much on these streams. That's true. Final thoughts. Hopefully, Retro Big Boy isn't running up the credit card. Yeah, exactly. It's AZ Big Boy, but hey, that's cool. And then Stringer Film says, if you want more videos like this video. So guys, throw those likes in there. It'll help us. We learned that Sindin is pronounced Sidin. We learned that Ralph doesn't watch the IT show, and that's okay. Let's see. That's actually pretty funny. I love that he said that's okay. I don't know why, but I'll say this in 2 seconds, Justin. But today, are you ever in your car and you actually out loud produce your own YouTube video?
Only when I'm alone.
Yeah, so I did that today, and the idea was that I was gonna do. Hey,
Michael B, do you ever do that? No, you don't ever do that, right? Come on, I think everyone
I
does
have this
that.
idea. It's a stupid idea.
Does it always start with you're driving in your car? Hey guys!
No. I had an idea that I would do a really bad review of the tabletop Miss Pac, like the countercade Miss Pac-Man, but I do it I was gonna call it honest review, but I was gonna do it like I was the guy that just doesn't care what I say, like just really stupid, basically. Like I was gonna be like, yeah, look. So I wasn't gonna do it with this voice, but this is kind of an idea. I was gonna be like, yeah, so we got all right. I spent the extra $50, and I went and I got the Miss Pac-Man countercade. Now when I think about it, the $50 wasn't very well spent because I got the crappy version of Dig Dug, and I got the crappy version of Pac-Man that I'm not going to play. So in effect, I spent 50 extra bucks so I could take Mix Pac-Man and Galaga and put them together like they should be in the first place. And so I was going to make this whole thing because there isn't another version of the countercade that has Miss Pac-Man and Galaga. Like, it doesn't make sense, right? Like, you could have eliminated all the other versions and had one version that just is Miss Pac-Man and Galaga. Like, no one cares about the other two games. Yeah. So anyways, I was gonna do my review like that and be like, we don't care about the other two games. Period. I literally spent $50 to buy 2 throwaway games.
Wow.
Anyways, that's how.
No, that's
it's
interesting.
true though, right?
I can't wait for that video to come out.
It's not gonna come out though.
Yeah, I have a lot of B videos that never make it to the cut that I do in my car as well.
I'll be like, things are going crazy. You got Detroit Love putting handles on the thing. He's running it on batteries. Things are going nuts.
Is that Bill Murray from Ghostbusters?
Oh, things are going nuts. I don't know what it is. I gotta back up from the microphone when I scream. All right, I'm sure we gotta go, dude.
All right, let's end it. You ready?
Oh, I guess I didn't realize that. Okay, I guess Cool Toy did the handle first. I didn't even know that. I didn't know. I didn't know there was a first. I didn't know the handle was the topic of the town. But the handle is a pretty popular thing. I do dig the handle. The hand does make sense. It kind of does seem like you should go pick it up with a handle. And I think didn't they
Countercade 3 handle built in?
Oh yeah, hold on a second. Countercade version 3. We added 2 more games you don't like, but we put the handle on it. Crap, what do you mean no one wants Dig Dug 4? Wait, there was a Dig Dug 4? Oh, there isn't a Dig Dug 4. What did you guys do?
And if you want a battery, we made one of those too. It costs $50 more.
I should
right,
make
I'm
mine.
ending it. I'm ending it.
Dude, I should make mine into a backpack. I should literally like make it so the countercade can be worn as a backpack, so you can bring it with you. I'll be like, and guess what, guys? I'm rolling the countercade mobile style. I'll go into my car. It'll be like, you can't sit down because the countercade's on your back. I don't know, whatever. I guess
You always have these really interesting ideas because you went on and on that one time where, remember, you wanted to turn the partycade into skis. He's like, it wants to go outside. You take the partycade and you got to set it free. You take the partycade and you put it on a hill that has snow on it. Because he called me this one time. He's like, Justin, is it snowing outside? Yeah, it's snowing. You have a partycade, right? Yeah. You need to set it free. What are you talking about? Just listen to me. Take your partycade, put the skis on them, and then you need to make a video where he's like, can you do animation? I'm like, no. He's like, okay, find someone that can do animation, and this is how it's going to work. You take the partycade. The partycade is depressed. He has sad eyes dripping from his screen. I'm like, the partycade's alive? Yes!
Yeah, it has emotion.
And then he's like hanging on the wall. He's super depressed, but he sees those skis that can be screwed on the side. And then you put it out there, and he kind of walks out there and waddles outside, gets on top of the hill and goes down. And all of a sudden, he's really happy. That needs to be your next intro, Justin. I'm like, great. See you in 6 months. Because that's how long it's going to take.
How depressing that it's being designed and they're like, guys, this is exciting. This is a party. We're going to call it the Partycade. And then you're like, oh, sorry, Partycade. We're going to hang you on the wall. You're going to hang on the wall. And now all the other cabinets are over here where people can go and play them. And you're going to get to see them all having fun. And we're going to offend you by shipping you with these things, which would allow you to maybe do something cool. But we're going to strip you from them. And we're going to put you on the wall. Like, it's mean. They're so mean to the Partycade. All right.
We're going to wrap this up now. Okay. Ready? I'm going to press a button. Okay. I'm doing something.
All right.
We only come out at nights. We only come out at night. The days are much too bright. We only come out at night. And once again, I'll pretend to know you well, my friend. And once again, I'll pretend to know the way through the empty space, through the secret places of your heart, in your heart. We only come out at night. We only come out at night. The days are much too bright. We only come out at night. And once again, I walk alone to find the way home. I'm on my own. I'm on my own to see the ways through the empty space, through the secret places of the heart, the heart. We only come out at night. We only come out at night. The days are much too bright. We only come out at night. All right, that's enough.
Nice, man. That was great.
Well, I figured since that was the name of our title to this show, we only come out at night. I got to do a Pumpkins one, only come out at night. It's not a very popular Pumpkin song, but I think the people that know that deep track, they get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway,
right.
this is our first. Is this our first 2-hour?
No,
stream
we did longer.
That's not an arcade.
No, we almost had a 2-hour. We had over 2-hour streams at CES. They were long, really long. Some really long streams.
Yeah, you're right.
CES, yeah. All right. We gotta go. That's it.
We gotta go to
That's it, and that's all.
That's right, guys. Say goodbye, Ralph.
Guys, we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate
and we'll
it.
see you on a different one, right?
Yep. So hard for the win. John D. going down. Who's the master, John D? So hard. All right.
Wait.
Okay, come on. I was just about to hit end broadcast.
One more thing. You're going to love this. It's going to take 2 seconds, okay?
Dude,
Tell me the name of the song. Ready? How's it go? How's the zombie song go?
Zombie the Cranberries zombie or a different zombie?
Oh, man.
When all else fails, I just want to click this.
Awesome.
I think it's really cool.
This is great.
You could paint it.
You can put 6 packs of soda in here.
You can make it all black if you wanted to do that.
You can put milk.
Or you can seal it.
You can put yogurt.
Or you could put some edge molding on it.
You can put candy bars in the freezer.
Or you could have artwork made for it.
Anything that you want to keep cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. All right, sorry, I had to. All right. Dude, we gotta go. You're gonna get me in trouble. I need to leave. I have to go.
Do you know that song?
It doesn't sound familiar to me.
Nobody? Come on.
Everyone's saying White Zombie and some people are saying Rob Zombie.
Does anyone even know SNK? Why are you even thinking about buying a Neo Geo if you don't know that song?
Dude, I really have to go.
Dude, it's the Metal Slug song. What the hell?
Okay, it didn't sound like the Metal Slug song to me. I'm sorry. I guess it sounds like it.
Whatever.
All right, okay. You sing this awesome song, and I'm like giving you praise, and then you sing one thing, and I can't remember. You're like, I'm done. Ah.
See you on the next one, guys. We're out.
It's so hard. Just do not sound like nothing like it. All right, I'm pulling the plug. All right, guys.
Thank you.
See you on the next one. I can't do it.
If our hands are up, we
Hold on.
can't touch the button.